Good morning. Hi friends. Welcome back to the Edge Kids Block Party. It has been a super fun month so far, celebrating with all of you. I love a good party, don't you? Especially when everyone's invited. Everyone is always welcome in Edge Kids, of course. And this month, we're really celebrating because we're talking about something super awesome. Do you remember what we're talking about? Friendship. Friendship is using your words and actions to show others you care. Friendship is worth throwing a big party for, don't you think? One of my favorite party games is Limbo. Have you ever played Limbo? If you haven't, I want you to give it a try with this small twist. Instead of being out when you touch the stick, form a cheering section and cheer the rest of the players on. Encouraging and cheering our friends is so much more fun. Now, let's go keep the fun going as we sing and worship God.
Jesus, you have been so faithful. Jesus, you have been so true. I will be forever thankful, 'cause I never had a friend like you. Help me to be who you've been to me, to everyone I see. Let us love one another with a love like no other yet. That's the way you love us, God. Never turn away, you are with us every day, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. Your love is always been beginning to end. There's never been a better friend. So let us love one another with our love like no other yet. That's the way you love us, God. You with me in the darkest valley. You with me on the mountaintop. I'm thankful that you never leave me, and that your love will never stop. Help me to be who you've been to me, to everyone I see. Let us love one another with a love like no other yet. That's the way you love us, God. Never turn away, you are with us every day, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. Your love is always been beginning to end. There's never been a better friend. So let us love one another with our love like no other, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. I wanna thank you for being a friend who's always by my side. I wanna thank you for the way you love me all my life. I wanna thank you for being a friend who's always by my side. I wanna thank you for the way you love me all my life. Love one another with a love like no other yet. That's the way you love us, God. Never turn away, you are with us every day, yeah. That's the way you love us, God. Your love is always been beginning to end. There's never been a better friend. So let us love one another with our love like no other, yeah. That's the way you love us, God.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. And now for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of 1 Kings, chapter 19.
For many years, God's people were ruled by kings who refused to listen to God. So God sent prophets to speak His words. One was a man named Elijah.
I serve the Lord.
Elijah did amazing things through God's power, like calling for rain after 3 years of drought and bringing a dead boy back to life. But being a prophet was a lonely, difficult life. After the evil queen Jezebel threatened his life, Elijah fled to Mount Horeb.
God, I've been committed to you, but the people have turned their backs on me. I am the only prophet left.
God already had an answer to Elijah's pleas. A friend. Go back the way you came. Anoint Elisha from Abel Meholah as the next prophet after you." So Elijah tightened his belt and set out along the road. When he finally reached the town, he noticed several young men plowing with a dozen pair of oxen, and in the very last field he noticed one of the young men struggling to keep his oxen in line.
Get up there, Ham. Move along, Burger.
God, is that Elisha? He's just a small town kid. What does he have? Does he have what it takes to be a prophet?
But God had chosen Elisha, so Elijah tramped through the muddy field to greet the young man.
Elisha!
Elisha blinked in surprise when he saw the prophet.
Whoa, Burger.
Elijah marched right up to Elisha and threw his very own cloak over the young man's shoulders. It was a sign that God had chosen Elisha to be Elijah's assistant.
Me? You're choosing me?
Elijah turned and walked away. Elisha dropped the reins and ran after.
Wait, just let me say goodbye to my family. Then I'll come with you.
Go right ahead. I'm not making you do anything.
Yes, sir.
Right then and there, Elisha broke apart his plow and used the wooden pieces to start a fire. He cooked a meal and called all his family and friends over to share it with him.
I'm leaving to travel with Elijah. Goodbye, everyone.
Then Elisha set out on the road beside Elijah.
I don't really know how to be a prophet, or even a prophet's assistant.
That's okay. You'll learn.
So over the years, Elisha followed Elijah everywhere as a close companion and good friend, and he watched and listened intently as Elijah spoke God's words to powerful kings and did incredible things. One day, Elisha and Elijah left the town of Gilgal on the way to Bethel, and they both knew that God was about to do something very breathtaking. God was going to take Elijah up to heaven.
Stay here, Elisha. The Lord has sent me to Bethel.
Elisha wasn't about to leave his friend to go it alone.
As sure as the Lord and you are alive, I won't leave you.
At Bethel, the same thing happened.
Stay here, Elisha. The Lord has sent me to Jericho.
As sure as the Lord and you are alive, I won't leave you.
It happened once again in Jericho.
Stay here, Elisha. The Lord has sent me to the Jordan River.
As sure as the Lord and you are alive, I won't leave you.
You do realize you're repeating yourself.
Together, Elisha and Elijah reached the banks of the Jordan River. The waters flowed dark and deep. Elijah removed his coat and rolled it up. And then he struck the river. Immediately, the waters parted to the right and left. Elisha and Elijah walked across the river on dry ground. They reached the opposite bank.
Tell me, what can I do for you before I'm taken away?
Elisha didn't want to lose his friend and mentor, Elijah, but he'd learned many things in the last few years.
Please, give me a double share of the Spirit God has given you.
Only the Lord can do that. But if you see me when I'm taken away, that means you will receive what you've asked for.
Elisha nodded, and the two men walked on in silence. Suddenly, a wild wind whipped up, and a chariot and horses appeared, blazing with fire.
Elijah.
The flaming chariot flew down right between the two men. It caught up Elijah and carried him up to heaven, driven by a strong wind.
Elijah, you are like a father to me.
Elisha stared into the sky until the last breath of wind and the final hint of flame were gone. Then in great sorrow, he tore his own clothes.
My best friend is gone.
Glancing down at the ground, he saw Elijah's coat. Carefully, he picked it up.
I wonder.
Elisha hurried back to the bank of the Jordan River. Again, the water flowed hard and fast. On the opposite bank, a group of prophets from Jericho watched.
Look, there's Elisha. But where's Elijah?
Across the river, Elisha twisted up Elijah's coat. He called out in a loud voice,
Where is the power of the Lord? Where is the power of the God of Elijah?
Then Elisha struck the water just as Elijah had done. And just like what happened before, the waters parted to the right and left. The prophets from Jericho stared in amazement as Elisha crossed the river on dry land.
The spirit God gave to Elijah has been given to Elisha.
It was true. Elisha had been faithful to follow and learn from Elijah for many years, and now God's Spirit was with Elisha just as it had been with his friend.
Good morning, Edge Kids. It's Block Party Month. I know you guys are excited. I wish you were here at the building actually having a block party with me, but maybe soon, Lord willing. So guys, today we learned that Elijah and Elisha were prophets who performed miracles we probably won't ever see or do. But there was one thing that they did do that we can do. They encouraged one another. Friends encourage one another. Say that with me, guys. Friends encourage one another. There are so many ways you can encourage your friends. Just use your imagination. If your friend has a tryout coming up for sports or theater, tell them that you believe in them and you know they can do it. Maybe you could even offer to help them practice so they feel ready. If your friend is sad, take time to sit with them and listen to them. If they want to be cheered up, try telling them a joke. That's my favorite thing to do. Or playing a song you both love, or maybe having a random dance party. Hey, I know you guys can floss. You can even make a card for a friend who's sick or going through a hard time. And remember, when we believe and put our faith in Jesus, we have the Holy Spirit living inside us. The Spirit encourages us and helps us encourage other people too. There are so many ways to encourage our friends. The possibilities are endless. And I bet we can come up with even more ideas this week. So let's get moving and find someone to continue talking about this with. And just know, no river crossing required. I love you guys and God bless.
Good morning, River's Edge. Thanks for joining us today on our video. We're so glad to have you guys here. I cannot wait to show you guys what we're gonna do today. It's super fun. It involves mini marshmallows and those are awesome. So to get started, you'll only need 2 things today. So first off, like I said, we're gonna use mini marshmallows. Mine are colorful and fun and flavored. Maybe sneak a few and eat them because they're yummy. And then we need some toothpicks. So I bought this big container of toothpicks here that we're gonna use. So today, what do you think we're gonna make with our toothpicks and our marshmallows, you may ask? Well, I am gonna build a structure like a house and see how big I can make it without it falling apart or falling over. So do you think I can make a house like this big? Yeah? What about like this big? Maybe? What about like this big? I don't know, let's see. So to get started, I'm gonna show you how to do it and then you guys can do it on your own at home. So you take your toothpick, you put a marshmallow on one side and a marshmallow on the other side, like that to get started. So it kind of looks like a tiny barbell, like a weight. So then you can stick toothpicks in to connect, just like that. And you keep connecting until we have like a shape that looks like kind of like a square. So connect more marshmallows onto the ends of the toothpicks and then connect those toothpicks together. So like, look, I have a square, now I have a square, and I'm gonna keep building up from that square. So I'm gonna put toothpicks in my marshmallows, like this, and we're gonna see how high I can get it. Look, it's looking pretty good. So I kind of have a double cube now. Should we keep going? See if I can make it even bigger. And it gets kind of tricky once it gets kind of big, because it might fall over. Gotta make sure it's nice and sturdy. So I have mine 3 cubes across and 2 cubes high. It's looking a little unstable here, so I think this is where I'm gonna end. I challenge you guys to see how big you guys can make your structures, how long, how tall, different shapes, maybe a cube, a square, a rectangle. I wanna see if someone can do a circle. That would be super cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see what you guys make. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you next time.